Here's a nice branch. This comes from a weeping wattle, okay, which is the tree right over here. You can actually see by the leaves. This is a very interesting tree as well. We call it the wiping wattle. It's the toilet paper of the bushveld. I'll show you that a little bit later on. But this tree has been stripped by an elephant. What he does is he puts it in his mouth on one side, and as he turns it around, he rotates it, and he actually strips off the cambium layer, the bark, as it goes in and out his mouth. This piece over here, that's what he's feeding on. It's not feeding on the inner structure of the tree. It's feeding on this cambium layer over here. So this is where the nutrients is. This is still moist, very, very moist. Hey, Alex, just have a feel over there. See that? So I feel how cool it is. It's still quite moist. This has just been through an elephant's mouth, very, very, very recently. And there he is, guys. We're going to head off there now. I just really want to take this opportunity to show you what's going on. Just have a look around. Follow me over here. I want to show you something too. Able to see that very, very fresh elephant dung. Okay, the color of it is important. It hasn't started to dry out yet. Still moisture. The flies are still just starting to pick up on it. There's fresh urine on the ground all around it. Very interesting way to tell the difference between a male and a female. If the urine's directly over the dung, that's a female, and if it's a male, the dung's usually slightly further ahead of the dung. Just because of the genitalia structure and how that's all formed. And if you look on the road in front of us over here, you can see where the elephant's been walking and dragging his trunk. Looks like a snake almost, but he's actually been, as he walks, he swishes to the left, swishes to the right. That big heavy trunk is dragging on the ground. So here, just like I was talking about a bit earlier, here is a story. An elephant has been here. He ate, he walked to the tree, fed a little bit, dropped his dung, urinated, turned around, walked up over here. Very casually, lazily, he's been walking around up over here by the trunk movements on the ground, and he's headed that direction south along this road. Let's go and get him. Quite old. You can have a look at just while we're doing this, talking about his age. Remember, tusks is not a good indicator of age. Tusks is purely a genetic pass down. Large tusked elephants breeding with healthy females pass down a gene to large tusked youngsters. The best way to look at age is their teeth. Elephants get 6 sets of teeth in their life, and at the phase or the condition of the tooth can actually have a good indication of the age of the elephant. But obviously we can't go and do that. They don't respond very well to humans picking up their trunks and scratching around in their mouth. But look at the skull structure. Look at those indentations on his head just above his eyes. It's a bit of a, as he gets older, he's walking straight towards us now. As he gets older, those indentations get deeper and deeper, and that's a good indicator. He's coming up to have a bit of a look around, have a sniff around. You can see he's not feeding. He's quite inquisitive. He's probably going to walk just around the back of the vehicle. Right now, it's about 3 meters behind us now. Let's look at that. Oh, a little bit of elephant flatulence, nice fresh smell of Mother Nature. Absolutely spectacular. The light as well on the trunk here. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful specimen. Look at the condition of the tail as well, Alex. See the tail, the tail hairs quite worn, not that many left. Also a good indication of the age. While he's walking like that, wait, let's just nice little example. Look at the drongo there. Just we were talking about that just a little bit earlier. The fork-tailed drongo and the large mammal, the relationship that they have. And there's a perfect example. Look at that drongo, it's hanging around that elephant. And he's just waiting for the elephant to move and maybe pick up on any insects that jump out of the way of the feet. But just look at that beautiful light that's shining through on that trunk at the moment. You can see how agile that trunk is and how he uses his feet as well. It's always fascinating watching elephants feed. Just the way that they go about it. It's a very intelligent approach and very confident, comfortable in the way they do it. So he wraps it around and he kicks at the base of the plant, breaks the root off. See that? And then straight up to the mouth. So just it's very interesting now as you watch. You see the size of his front feet compared to his back feet. Much larger. Also the structure of the bone, the leg itself is much thicker in the front than it is in the back. An elephant carries about 70% of his weight on his front legs and the rest on the back, which means his front legs will be a lot bigger, and his footprint, his pad of his foot will be a lot bigger as well. And as an elephant walks, you watch, he places his front foot, and just where his front foot has left a footprint, as he moves his back foot over, it stands almost exactly on the same place. Which is always an easy way to track the direction that elephants go. But what is fascinating is watching this guy. He's slightly different. His back foot ends a little bit behind the footprint, and that is something that's quite common in old elephants. So it's also maybe a means of tracking and helping to identify the age for old elephants when you're tracking them. But looks like he's heading straight to the road.
See the tail as well, as Michael was talking about.
Yeah. Yeah, when you see the dung that comes out of there, you're just very grateful that elephants didn't develop the ability to fly. Yeah, just got a question coming in from Valerie. Thank you very much, Valerie. An interesting question based on an observation that she has. An observation that she's made on a show where the elephants were actually walking down a very steep gradient downhill, and what Valerie saw was that the elephants actually, it almost appeared that they were sitting down on their backsides and just using their front legs to move themselves forward. Just keep in mind, it makes a lot of sense if you think about it. Elephant carrying 70% of his weight. Remember, the bulk of his weight is on his front legs. If he kept himself on all four legs and went out that steep gradient, there would be a massive imbalance on his as he moved down that hill, and you'd more than likely tumble forward. So by sitting down, it's balancing out that weight so that their bodies can actually remain in balance as they're heading down that gradient, and just make it easier for them to move. If you just walk down, there's a very good chance that the elephant would actually buckle forward and maybe just end up hurting itself or having an accident as it goes down those big hills. So it's just got to do with the structure of the elephant's body, the weight distribution on the body itself, and the type of terrain that they're moving along. So steep gradients going down, yeah, you've got to just drop those back legs, and so you don't end up falling over. So I imagine that's the reason why. But this guy hasn't moved. He seems to be quite happy just right over there. Let's just go a little bit forward.